Welcome to Star Wars Action News, helping Star Wars collectors collect better.
Have good luck when we bought the first round of those figures. Remember that were in the blister pack, like the 5 set or 6 set, depending on the scene?
Yeah, we reviewed those. The Return of the Jedi set that had the Jabba and the Bib Fortuna, whose paint was rubbing off on the top.
Yeah, the paint was just atrocious. So not such great quality control on these. And obviously those are not made for collectors. They're probably made for little Johnny and little Susie.
Impulse buys, gift sets, somebody's having a birthday.
Stuff your aunt buys for you when she doesn't know what you're into.
Your son is going to another kid's birthday party and needs to take a $10 gift. That kind of stuff, I think. But you did go without me one time, and you found the third of those sets, and I understand the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result.
But let's clarify. I was not having an outing to the Disney store. I was in a city that had a Disney store, so I asked you if there's anything you wanted.
I didn't even know that this was out, but I did have you pick up the Empire Strikes Back set, even though I didn't like the Star Wars and Return of the Jedi set, because if I have a couple character focuses, one is Greedo, and the other is, and I don't know if it's a character or a prop, but Han and Carbonite. And there was a Han and Carbonite in this set. I had you pick it up with very low expectations, but you know what? I think they did better. This third set, I think overall, the figures are a little better. We get an R2-D2, a Yoda, a Luke and X-Wing outfit, a Boba Fett, and a Han and Carbonite in there.
The paint is much better on these, and they don't rub against the package like the other ones did. And that was a lot of problem with the paint. Not the best vibrant colors. I think the Boba Fett's really muted, and he almost looks like he's all olive green.
Yeah, but he kind of just reminds me of certain Hasbro action figures. At this point, in the size they are and the paint they have, they just look like a cake topper and a Hasbro figure had a baby. It's a little shorter than a 3 3/4 inch figure. It has no articulation. It has a giant round base, but it has the paint of a Hasbro action figure, and I think the Boba Fett looks pretty good. I like this Boba Fett a lot because his head is turned to the side. He's got the gun up. In the package, he's posed next to Han in the Carbonite, and I like that pairing, that he's standing next to Han, kind of looking at it like either he's guarding it or he doesn't want to forget that he bested his longtime foe or something. I kind of like that. And the Yoda, I thought, had a lot of good detail on him. I was very interested in the paint job, given how bad the paint was. And Yoda's a small character. They did great on the eyes. I actually think that these paint jobs are better than what we're seeing on recent Hasbro figures.
Although he's missing one small thing. He no longer has any wisps of hair.
When 900 years old you reach, have hair you will not.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on, yes. Perhaps he needs to join the hair club for Yoda. I don't know what it would be called.
I think he just went total Jason Statham. He realized if all you have is that, you shave it off.
I'm not thrilled with the X-Wing Luke. I think it's an optical illusion where they've done the straps and they hang down between his legs. And because this isn't a high-quality action figure, they just made it like a solid piece. So it makes his torso look really funny. Doesn't it?
It does. It is almost like he's some kind of transformer and he'd pivot that out and it would become a piece to a car, like a spoiler or something.
Yeah, it's just, it's awkward.
And the visor of his X-Wing helmet, I mean, I'm glad that they painted the Rebel symbols and all the details on his helmet, but the visor itself is like a mustard yellow that is very opaque. He would not be able to see out of this helmet. But I'm nitpicking.
Well, he's going to trust the Force anyway, right?
That's true. This would actually double very well as the helmet for the remote training session.
Yeah.
But overall, for what it is, it's not a bad figure because of the paint. They did do the helmet. His gun is melded into his leg, but for a non-articulated figure, what do you want?
My guns are molded to my leg, too.
I don't know how to answer that.
We've also got a Stormtrooper. It's kind of hard to mess up a Stormtrooper.
Not really. Hasbro's shown us many ways. I'm not hating on Hasbro. I just, lately, their products have not been of the highest caliber, and I think they're on par with these.
I'm curious because this is such a stark white. how soon it would start to yellow, like with regular play or sitting on a shelf, because it's an odd glowy white, which usually when things are that weird glowy white, they don't last long.
True, but this is PVC, so it might do a little better, maybe?
No. Would you like to go downstairs and see the PVC pipes in our basement?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point.
Yeah.
But again, good paint detail on the helmet. The little gray circles, they didn't bother to do the vertical lines in them, but they've got the gray notches, which is more detail than a lot of toys put. And even though these are pre-posed, I'm liking the pose on all of them. I like his kind of on the hunt for Leia or pose kind of thing he's got going on. And then R2-D2. How can you mess up R2-D2? He doesn't have a vac metallized dome, but again, he's got kind of that Hasbro shiny silver dome.
Yeah, he's okay. His legs look a little bit long, just probably because they wanted all three touching him.
Yeah, I guess maybe the proportions are a little off. I don't think you need to put R2 on a disc, though, because a tripod, by nature, stands very well. This is why I have a tripod for my camera and not a giant disc that I put my camera on when taking photos.
Or a big bipod.
Yeah, I think that an R2-D2 figure does not need a disc in order for stability if you're going to have the third leg extended.
But it fit with the other ones.
There's a little less paint on him. I'm not seeing the red I usually associate with the front. It's mostly blue and white and the silver, but still looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's all right. They've actually gotten the paint all straightened out on these. At least on the set we bought.
If the other sets have improved, if like the first batch, because we got them when they were brand new, had just bad quality control and they've upgraded, I could see myself getting those again. Especially to continue the set like this. But the real reason I had you pick it up, sight unseen for me, Han and Carbonite.
And it's okay. I like that it's got a little bit of heft to it. It's thicker than I thought it would be. It appears to be solid plastic or PVC, whatever it's made of, real natural PVC. I was kind of flummoxed because it came with a disc and it looked like it wasn't going to fit. I gave up a few times. I didn't want to force it in. Arnie did fix it for me and now it is just fine.
Yeah, the disc was not attached to it. And so you have to push it in. And Han and Carbonite is not a rectangle. He's a very slight trapezoid. And so first you had to line it up the right way, but you really had to kind of shove it in to get that thing fitted in the hole.
And you accused me of breaking it because you thought in the package that it was attached, and looking at the package the way I was, it was very clearly not attached.
What are you going to do with a Han and Carbonite? I agree, I like the heft. They got the pose right. They got the big lips on him right that the Carbonite gave him. They don't have the streak down his face that always freaked me out a little bit, but he's showing just the slight bit of leg, and then it goes to the flatness and have the boots sticking out. And with the disc, I'm glad that you can have this standing. You don't need to have this displayed against a wall leaning. You don't have to have it laying down or anything like that. By the same token, having it stand like this just reminds me of like a chess piece.
Yeah, it kind of does look like a chess piece, doesn't it?
Or from the back, it looks like the monolith from 2001.
That was made in Vietnam.
Yes, made in Vietnam for the Disney Store Limited, London, W69PE. I was actually impressed that they bothered to paint the sides, though. They really did. I mean, I have the Icons prop replica, and they didn't bother to paint the sides. But they went ahead and put little red dots up, like where Lando had leaned next to it, and you get the good close-up. And then they have, what would you call this color? Turquoise?
Yes, it is a turquoise or teal.
Yeah, little spots. And then there's others that are like a sky blue. And I don't know if I like them or not, because I think that the paint doesn't really look electronic. It does look like costume jewelry paint.
It was like kind of candy, like candy dots.
Yeah, it just reminds me of like that kind of jewelry you see old ladies in Florida wear. That's the colors that they've chosen.
The bright costume jewelry.
Yeah. It just doesn't fit for the side. I wish they'd gone more primary colors. A really bright blue, a sharp red, maybe a good yellow, something like they put on Luke's visor. That would have aided this a lot, but they bothered to paint it at all. It does add something to this gray modeled piece.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos, Disney. I took you to task and I took your toys back to the store for a refund previously, but I actually like these sets.
I felt bad because after you return something, they still tell you to have a magical day.
Actually, that guy listened to our show and knew not to.
Yeah, he did.
He recognized us from our voice, which 10 years, still, I'm not used to it.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Star Wars Action News with more collecting news and reviews at swactionnews.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. May the pegs be stocked and the Force be with you.